Welcome back, Avon and Wiltshire Pharmacy teams. Look, we all know how absolutely hectic it gets behind that counter, juggling patient care with what feels like a literal mountain of admin. So welcome to today's explainer. We're going to cut right to the chase and unpack the absolute must-know updates for Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026.
If you're currently feeling, just a bit overwhelmed by the sheer avalanche of NHS emails and shifting guidance, take a breath. You're in exactly the right place. We've essentially combed through all that noise to bring you just the pure, actionable facts from this week's update. Our goal? To keep your operations running seamlessly so you can get back to what you actually do best, looking after your patients.
All right, let's dive straight in. Here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We've got 1. Urgent deadlines. 2. Tech and mandatory recording. 3. The £20 million quality scheme funding. 4. Clinical updates. And we'll wrap it up with 5. Professional opportunities. Section 1. Urgent deadlines and contracts. Let's get right into what needs your immediate attention today.
30. That's the date in June, and honestly, it is literally right around the corner. You've got exactly 1 week left, guys. The absolute deadline to complete the 2026 Data Security and Protection Toolkit, the DSPTK, is Tuesday, June 30th. Please, make sure this goes to the very top of your to-do list today. And just to drive home how critical this is, the update explicitly states, and I quote, "Failure to complete the DSPTK within the deadline given may lead to further contractual sanctions." Yeah, that's a pretty heavy warning. It is a strict legal requirement under the 2013 regulations. Community Pharmacy England has put out updated guidance to help you navigate it, so definitely use those links in your briefing. Just get it ticked off.
Sticking with urgent contracts for a second, this next one is calling all our BNSSG pharmacies. You've got to urgently return your signed LES contracts for local patient group directions to the ICB. Apparently, there's still quite a few pharmacies holding out on this. So please, do us all a favor. Track down that paperwork, sign it, and fire it over to Alison Mundell right away.
Moving right along to Section 2, Technology and Mandatory Recording.
Okay, so take a look at this. This is the NHS Record of Vaccination Service, or RAVS for short. And this is a massive shift. Starting September 1st, 2026, it is going to be 100% mandatory for all community pharmacies in England to record all NHS vaccinations. Yep, that includes flu and COVID, using this exact system. No exceptions.
So, the big question is, how do we get your team ready for this September 1st mandate? Well, we've broken the onboarding process down into 3 super actionable steps. Step 1, register 1 person from your pharmacy as the lead administrator. Step 2, set up a second lead admin. Seriously, do not skip this. It's absolutely crucial for business continuity. If your main admin is out sick, you really don't want your whole vaccination clinic grinding to a sudden halt, right? And step 3, assign your on-site branch administrators. Now here's the catch. Only administrators can actually add the required vaccine information into the system. If they don't set it up, your frontline staff physically won't be able to record the jabs. Just a few more rapid-fire operational details on RAVS. First, sign up now via their website. Seriously, do not leave this until August. If you're running a larger chain, like 50-plus branches, there's a really handy bulk onboarding option via email to save you a ton of time. If you're already using RAVS, your admin just needs to go in and manually add flu and COVID under the vaccines section. And hey, if this all sounds a little overwhelming, keep an eye out for invites to the National Drop-In Support Sessions. The key takeaway here? Get your teams familiar with this system right now. All right, let's talk numbers. Section 3. Funding and the Pharmacy Quality Scheme. £20 million. That's a massive pool of funding. That is the total value of the PQS for the 2026/27 year. The full details, plus some genuinely excellent resources like checklists, action plan templates, and training record sheets, have literally just been published. This is a huge chunk of change designed specifically to reward you for high-quality care. So you really need a game plan for how your pharmacy is going to earn its slice of the pie.
To actually get your hands on that funding, you've got to map out your actions against this timeline. If you're a pharmacy owner and you want to claim that initial aspiration payment to give your cash flow a nice little boost, mark your calendars right now. The window is strictly between July 13th and July 28th, 2026. After that, your final declaration period will hit in February 2027. Honestly, I'd suggest printing this timeline out and just sticking it on the wall in your back office.
Shifting gears to Section 4, Clinical Updates.
First up on the clinical desk is the newly announced meningococcal B, or MenB, vaccination service.
The UK HSA and NHS England just dropped their initial clinical guidance for this. But listen, the real thing you need to watch out for happens next week. We're expecting the full, detailed service specification, plus the exact registration and onboarding details to be released then. So make sure your clinical leads are keeping their eyes peeled next week.
Next, we've got a brief but incredibly important clinical alert regarding the recent measles outbreak in Weston-super-Mare. Please make sure you remind your entire team, from the front counter straight through to the dispensary, about the strict protocols for suspected measles cases. You've got to review the guidance over on the BNSSG remedy page along with the national guidelines, because if a patient walks in with a rash and a fever, your staff needs to know exactly what isolation and referral steps to take on the spot.
And finally, Section 5. Professional Opportunities and News.
So, let me ask you this. Are you ready to step up? Are you ready to actually take on a leadership role in your local pharmacy community and help shape the decisions that are affecting all of us right here in Avon and Wiltshire?
Because if your answer is yes, listen up. There are currently 2 independent contractor seats sitting wide open on the CPAW committee. This is literally your chance to have a seat at the table. If you're an independent contractor and you're even a little bit interested, go check your NHS emails for the full application details, or just shoot an expression of interest straight over to sarah.cpaw@gmail.com. We absolutely need strong, passionate local leaders right now.
Finally, let's take a quick zoomed-out look at how our entire profession is transforming. The GPHC has just published some absolutely vital advice for newly qualified prescribing pharmacists, really focusing on safe prescribing practices just before the very first cohort joins the register this summer of 2026. And the timing? It lines up perfectly with the massive community pharmacy contractual framework expansion that's hitting in autumn 2026, where independent prescribing is going to be formally integrated as an extension of Pharmacy First.
Which brings me to a final, provocative thought for you to chew on as we wrap up today's explainer. Is your pharmacy structurally, technically, and clinically prepared for the massive CPCF prescribing changes arriving this autumn? Think about it. The new prescribers are graduating right now, the framework is expanding, and that RABS technology is becoming totally mandatory. The time to start planning your operations isn't next month, it's right now. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope this brought some clarity to your very busy week. Keep learning, keep planning, and most importantly, a huge thank you for all the incredible work you do keeping our local communities healthy. See you next time.